Stop looking for the secret. Stop waiting for the breakthrough. There is no vault to crack, no password to whisper. There is only the work. The daily, quiet, unglamorous work that 99% of people refuse to do. This book is not about getting rich. It is about becoming rich, about forging the single most valuable asset you will ever own, the discipline to execute the fundamentals perfectly every single day. While the world chases hype, you will master the grind. While others seek motivation, you will operate on protocol. This is the operating system for building real wealth in the real world. It is time to clock in. Chapter 1. The myth is dead. The system is everything. Let's begin with a funeral. We are here to bury the most dangerous idea you've ever been sold. The idea that wealth is an event. The big break, the lucky trade, the genius idea that changes everything overnight. The viral moment, the IPO pop, the inheritance. These are fairy tales. Seductive, dangerous, and bankrupting fairy tales. Wealth is not an event. Listen carefully. Wealth is a byproduct. It is the inevitable mathematical output of a superior daily system, operated with robotic consistency over a long enough timeline. Nothing more, nothing less. You do not rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. Let's dissect the lie. Let's look at the overnight success. You see the tech founder on the cover of a magazine. The headline screams, "Billionaire at 30, overnight empire." You see the IPO day, the ringing of the bell, the confetti. That is the event. That is the myth. Now, let's pull back the curtain. Let's look at the 10 years before the confetti, the 3,650 days nobody wrote about, the silent, daily, unglamorous work, the code written at 2 a.m., the 100th rejected investor pitch, the failed prototypes, the personal savings drained, the relationships strained, the relentless daily decision to do the work when there was no audience, no applause, no evidence it would ever pay off. The public story is the 1 in a million lightning strike. The private reality is the 10-year daily construction of the lightning rod, the system, the process, the boring, brutal, beautiful work. The overnight success is a story told by the media because it sells. It is a story you tell yourself because it's easier than facing the truth. The truth is a grind, a daily, quiet discipline that offers no instant rewards. Now, let's talk about the poison you're consuming. Hustle porn. The social media reels of Lamborghinis and private jets. The motivational speakers screaming about waking up at 4 a.m. to crush it. This is not inspiration. It is distraction. It is entertainment dressed up as advice. It focuses your eyes on the glittering trophy, not the calloused hands required to hold it. That's the key. Motivation is a fever. It spikes, it breaks. You cannot build a life on a chemical fluctuation. You can only build on a foundation, and that foundation is a system, a set of rules that operates regardless of how you feel. It's not about the burst of inspiration. It's about the installation of the algorithm. You don't need to feel like a billionaire. You need to execute the daily checklist of someone building a billion-dollar life. So, your first assignment is an autopsy, a myth-busting audit. First, track your inputs, not your outputs. For 1 week, you will not look at your portfolio balance. You will not calculate your net worth. You will not obsess over a dollar amount. Instead, you will only track your system inputs. Did you complete your planned deep work session? Did you make your automated investment transfer? Did you follow your health protocol? Did you learn the new skill you scheduled? The output, the money, is a lagging indicator. The input, the disciplined action, is the leading indicator. Focus there. Second, conduct a story versus system analysis. Pick one person you consider successful. Now research the real timeline, not the media myth. Find the years of obscurity, the failed projects, the daily habits they maintained long before anyone knew their name. Write down the difference between the public story, the event, and the private system, the daily work. This will inoculate you against comparison and magical thinking. Third, declare your system sovereign. You will write this down. My financial future is not determined by market luck, employer generosity, or a brilliant idea. It is determined by the quality and consistency of my daily systems. Sign it. This is your declaration of independence from the myth. You have a choice. You can continue to be a lottery ticket buyer with your life, hoping for the event, the break, the lucky day. Or you can become an engineer, a builder, a systems architect. You can trade the frenzy of hope for the quiet power of a process. The myth is dead. Stop mourning it. Stop looking for it. Your power was never in a single brilliant moment. Your power is in the 10,000 mundane moments that no one will ever see. The morning routine, the saved dollar, the learned skill, the completed task. You do not rise to the level of your goals. You will always, inevitably fall to the level of your systems. So we must build a system that does not allow failure, a system that operates on default, a system so clear, so simple that even on your worst day, you cannot avoid moving forward. The myth is buried. Now we build the machine. And it starts by defining what victory looks like, not at the finish line, but today, in this hour.
Chapter 2. Define your daily victory. It's not a dollar amount. You have buried the myth. You accept the system. Now we must define success, and you are defining it wrong. You look at your brokerage account. Up $500. Victory. Down $300. Failure. You check your side hustle revenue. A sale comes in. Winning. A dry day. Losing. You tie your entire sense of accomplishment, your self-worth, your daily emotional weather to a number you do not fully control. This is madness. This is emotional Russian roulette. It is the fastest way to sabotage a system before it can even work. Measuring daily success by profit or portfolio balance is a recipe for panic, for greed, for quitting on a Tuesday because you feel like a failure. Stop it. Today. Your daily victory is not an outcome. It is a behavior, a completed process, a ritual executed. It is an action that sits 100% within your circle of control. Did you do the work? That is the only question that matters. Control the input. The output is a mathematical certainty. Let's see this in the real world. Let's watch the masters operate. The trader. The amateur measures his day by his profit and loss statement. Green is good, red is bad. He is a slave to the ticker. His emotions are a roller coaster. He burns out. The professional trader, his win is different. His win is following his checklist. Did he review the pre-market data at the exact scheduled time? Did he enter the trade only when all 5 criteria on his screener were met? Did he honor his stop loss without hesitation? If he did all that and the trade still lost money, he marks it as a win. Why? Because he controlled the input. The market's output on any single day is noise. Over 100 trades, his system's edge will play out. He wins by fidelity to the process. The writer. The amateur writer defines victory as a book deal, a viral post, 10,000 followers. She writes only when inspired. She checks her stats obsessively. She is paralyzed by the lack of external validation. The professional writer? Her victory is writing 1,000 words before noon. That's it. She doesn't control if an editor likes it. She controls sitting down and putting words on the page. Every day she hits her word count is a victorious day. The book deal becomes an eventual byproduct of 1,000 victorious days. The investor. The anxious investor logs into his account 5 times a day. He feels smart when the line goes up, stupid when it dips. He is tempted to do something based on this daily scoreboard. The quiet, wealthy investor? His victory is the automated transfer happening on payday. He set the system. He controls ensuring his income hits the account. The transfer is his win. The portfolio balance in 10 years is simply the inevitable math of hundreds of those small, silent victories stacking up. That's the key. You must decouple your emotional state from the uncontrollable outcomes and tether it firmly to the controllable actions. The market does not give you permission to have a good day. Your checklist does. It's not about feeling successful. It's about defining success as an act of discipline. You don't need the market's permission to call your day a win. So, your transformation starts now. You will perform the daily victory protocol. First, identify your keystone action. What is the one non-negotiable behavior that if you did it every day would make everything else easier or unnecessary? This is not a goal, it is an action. For the trader, it's the checklist review. For the writer, it's the word count. For you, it might be complete my 90-minute deep work block on my highest value skill, or log every dollar spent before 9 p.m., or make one proactive business outreach. Choose one. It must be binary. You either did it or you didn't. Second, create your victory log. You will get a simple calendar, physical or digital. At the end of each day, you ask the only question, did I complete my keystone action? If yes, you mark a large, satisfying V for victory on that day. You do not write down how much money you made. You do not record your weight. You record the execution of the input. The streak of V's becomes your most important metric, more important than your bank balance. Your job is to protect the streak. Third, conduct the input-output separation ritual. You will schedule 2 separate times. Input time. This is when you execute your keystone action and other system tasks. During this time, you have zero access to outcome data. No checking accounts, no sales dashboards. Output review time. This is a scheduled weekly appointment, example, Sunday night, where you calmly review the results. This trains your brain to focus its energy on effort, not on erratic reward. It builds patience. It builds sanity. You have a choice. You can let the chaotic, unpredictable waves of the market and the world toss you around, dictate your mood, and undermine your confidence every single day. Or you can drop your own anchor. That anchor is your daily victory, a thing you can always do, a standard you can always meet. When your victory is a behavior, you are unbeatable. No bad market day can take it from you. No critic can negate it. It is yours, completely. Control the input. The market, the economy, the customer, they control the output. Trust the math. Trust the process. 1,000 correct inputs guarantee the right output. It is a law of physics. Your day is now defined. Your victory is clear. But to claim it, you must own the single most valuable real estate in the world, the first hour of your morning.
Chapter 3. The 5 AM Sanity Protocol. Your victory is defined. Now you must claim the territory where it is won. The first hour of your day is not yours. Let that sink in. If you do not deliberately seize it, the world will steal it from you. It will be stolen by the ping of an email, the alert of a notification, the urgent demand of someone else's crisis, the brain fog of a rushed routine. You will start your day in reaction. You will begin already behind. This ends now. That first hour is the foundation, the calm before the storm, the silent, strategic session where you build the leverage that will move the rest of the day. Claiming it is not a productivity hack, it is a sanity protocol. It is the daily reconquest of your own mind. Win the morning, and the day concedes. Let's be brutally practical. Let's build the hour. This is not about waking up early to grind. This is about a sacred, non-negotiable appointment with your future self, an appointment no one else gets to schedule over. The 60-minute template, the ironclad law. Minute 0 to 20, the command center. You are awake, you are vertical, you have water. You do not look at a phone. You open a physical notebook. You spend 20 minutes in planning and priming. 5 minutes to review your daily victory from yesterday and write today's singular keystone action. 10 minutes reading not the news, but a few pages of a book that strengthens your philosophy, your knowledge, your mind. 5 minutes to visualize the day executing perfectly. This is not busy work. This is programming your mental software for clarity and intent. You are the general reviewing the map before the battle. Minute 20 to 40, the sharpest tool. This is your highest value work, the skill that directly builds your wealth. Writing code, writing the business plan, analyzing the investment thesis, practicing the sales script, creating the content. For 20 minutes, with zero distraction, you advance the single most important project in your life. No meetings, no emails, just deep, focused creation or learning. This block proves to you every single day that you are a creator, not just a consumer. You are a builder. This 20 minutes, compounded over years, creates mastery. It creates an unbridgeable gap between you and the person who hits snooze. Minute 40 to 60, the machine maintenance. Your mind is primed, your craft is advanced. Now you tend to the machine that carries it all, your body. 20 minutes of deliberate movement. This is not an Olympic workout. It is a wake-up call for your physiology, a brisk walk, body weight exercises, yoga, stretching. You are not training for a marathon. You are draining stress from your muscles, pumping oxygen to your brain, and signaling dominance to your own biology. You are connecting the mental victory to a physical one. The absolute non-negotiable rule is no digital voices, no email, no news headlines, no social media scroll, no text messages. The outside world does not exist in this hour. Its problems, its opinions, its chaos are locked out. Your mind is a sealed chamber. What you put in it during this hour becomes the filter for everything that comes later. That's the key. You are not adding an hour of work to your day. You are installing an hour of strategic selfishness that makes the other 15 hours infinitely more productive, more peaceful, more under your control. It's not about being a morning person. It's about being a disciplined person. You don't need to feel like doing it. You need to do it until the doing creates the feeling. So, your mission is the Sanity Protocol implementation. First, the pregame. Success at 5 a.m. is decided at 9 p.m. the night before. You will create an evening ritual. Set your coffee maker, lay out your clothes and notebook, place your phone in another room on Do Not Disturb. You are removing every point of friction, every possible excuse. You are making the right choice the only easy choice. Second, the 3-day surge. You will not try this someday. You will execute it for the next 3 mornings consecutively. The first day is a shock. The second day is a fight. The third day, a pattern begins to form. You are not asking for a lifetime commitment. You are demanding a 72-hour trial. Your body and mind will adapt. The clarity you feel by 6:01 a.m. on day 3 will be its own motivation. Third, protect the sanctity. You will defend this hour like it is your most important business meeting, because it is. If a family member needs you, you explain this is your unbreakable work time. You schedule everything else around it. You give this hour the respect you would give a meeting with the most important person in the world, because you are. You have a choice. You can start every day on the back foot, reacting to a world that is already in chaos, already making demands. Your willpower is depleted by 9 a.m. Or you can start every day from a position of unshakable strength. You have already won. You have already created. You have already moved. By the time the world wakes up, you are miles ahead. You are calm. You are in command. Win the morning, and the day has no choice but to fall in line. The fights seem smaller. The distractions seem weaker. The work gets done. You have claimed the first hour. You own your dawn.
Now you must govern the remaining hours with the same ruthless intention. You must sort them, or they will sort you.
Chapter 4. Triage your time, the 3-bucket method. You own your morning. You have your victory. Now you must govern the rest. You must become a ruthless general of your own hours. Because here is the brutal truth. Not all hours are created equal. An hour spent learning a high-income skill is not the same as an hour spent scrolling social media. An hour building your business is not the same as an hour organizing your desktop. Yet you treat them the same. You let them blur together. And you wonder why, after a busy day, you have nothing to show for it. This blur is your enemy. Vagueness is the killer of wealth. You must perform triage. You must sort every hour of your waking life into one of 3 buckets. Your future depends on the ratio. Bucket 1. Wealth work. This is direct value creation. The activity that, if you do it consistently, directly increases your earning potential or builds your assets. Coding, writing proposals, sales calls, strategic planning, creating content, analyzing investments, practicing a presentation. This is the work that moves the needle. It is often difficult. It requires deep focus. Bucket 2. Maintenance work. This is administration. It is necessary, but it does not create new value. Paying bills, answering non-urgent emails, grocery shopping, cleaning, filing taxes, scheduling appointments. This work sustains life and business, but it does not expand it. It is the upkeep of the machine. Bucket 3. Recovery work. This is genuine restoration, quality sleep, exercise that energizes you, healthy meals with loved ones, reading for pleasure, true leisure that refills your energy tanks. This is not laziness. This is strategic reinvestment in your only real asset, yourself. Without this bucket full, bucket 1 empties fast. Most people are drowning in bucket 2. They are busy administrators of their own lives, confused about why they're not getting richer. They let maintenance masquerade as productivity. It is a lie. If it's not scheduled, it's not real. Assign every hour a bucket. Let's see the master at work, the entrepreneur who understands the buckets. She doesn't work all day. She schedules with precision. Her calendar is color-coded. Deep green blocks, wealth work. Every morning after her Sanity Protocol, she has a 90-minute uninterrupted deep work block for her most important project. The phone is off, the door is closed. This is sacred. She might have another green block in the early afternoon. These blocks are non-negotiable. They are the engine of her empire. Yellow blocks, maintenance work. She batches this, maybe Tuesday and Thursday afternoons from 2 to 4 p.m. That's when she tackles email, invoices, logistics, errands. She contains the necessary drudgery so it doesn't infect her creative high-value time. It gets a time limit. It does not bleed. Blue blocks, recovery work. She schedules her workouts. She blocks out time for dinner with family. She guards her sleep schedule fiercely. She understands that a depleted founder makes terrible decisions. She does not apologize for this time. She defends it. Now, let's look at your life. You will perform the time bucket audit. For 1 week, you will track every waking hour, not what you planned to do, what you actually did. At the end of each day, you categorize each hour into wealth, maintenance, or recovery. The results will shock you. You will see the staggering percentage of your life spent on maintenance. You will see the pathetic slivers dedicated to true wealth work. You will see how your downtime is neither restful nor productive. It's just a numb scroll through bucket 2 on your phone. That's the key. You cannot manage what you do not measure. The audit provides the brutal, undeniable data. It shows you exactly where your wealth is leaking away into the sinkhole of maintenance and mindless consumption. It's not about being busy. It's about being strategic. You don't need to fill every hour. You need to assign every hour a purpose. So, your command is this: implement the 3-bucket calendar. First, schedule your wealth work first. Before the week begins, you block your deep work sessions. Treat them like client meetings with your most important client, your future self.
2 90-minute uninterrupted deep work blocks per day is a transformative start. Guard these blocks with your life. This is your priority. Everything else schedules around them. Second, batch and limit maintenance. Gather all your maintenance tasks. Assign them to specific, limited windows. I handle all email and admin from 4 to 5 p.m. daily. I do all household errands on Saturday morning from 9 to 11 a.m. Give it a container. When the time is up, you stop. You train yourself to be efficient within the constraint. Third, sanctify recovery. You must schedule rest as diligently as you schedule work. Block time for sleep, 7 to 8 hours. Block time for meals. Block time for true leisure. This is not optional. This is the fuel for the other 2 buckets. When recovery time comes, you are fully present. You are not guiltily thinking about work. You are restoring. You have a choice. You can live in a blur of undifferentiated time, where days melt into weeks and you have activity without progress. Or you can bring order to the chaos. You can command your hours with the precision of a surgeon. Your calendar is your blueprint for your future wealth. If your calendar is not predominantly green, wealth work, supported by solid blue, recovery, and minimized yellow, maintenance, then your bank account will reflect that. Exactly. If it's not scheduled, it's a wish, a dream, a maybe later. Later never comes. The bucket is everything. Your time is now sorted. Your energy is your next battleground. You can have the perfect schedule, but if your tank is empty, you will accomplish nothing.
Chapter 5. The One-Touch Financial Rule. Your time is sorted. Your energy is primed. Now we attack a silent killer, a thief that steals your focus, your peace, and your momentum, one tiny piece of paper, one digital notification at a time. Financial clutter. That unpaid bill on the counter, that unlogged receipt in your wallet, that bank statement you need to look at, that subscription you keep meaning to cancel. These are not just tasks, they are open loops. They are tiny, whispering debts of attention. Every one is a mental tax, a drag on your cognitive resources. This ends today. Any financial item that enters your world, a bill, an invoice, a statement, or receipt, must be dealt with decisively the first time you touch it. You will not put it down. You will not deal with it later. Later is a landfill where financial clarity goes to die. Touch it once, decide its fate, and never think of it again. Indecision is a debt, and you are paying interest on it with your sanity. Let's go to the scene of the crime. The kitchen counter. The mail arrives. The average person sorts through it, puts the bills in a to-do pile, leaves the junk mail, sets aside the statements. They have now touched every item at least twice and committed to touching the important ones 3, 4, 5 times. They have created work. They have built a shrine to procrastination. Now watch the operator. They process the mail standing over a trash can. Junk, immediate recycle. Catalog, trash. Bill, it is opened right there. The due date is checked. If it's due now, it is paid immediately online from their phone. If it's for later, it goes into a designated Bills to Pay folder with the date marked. The envelope is recycled. The bill is touched once. Its fate is sealed. The counter is clear. The mind is clear. Let's go digital. The 5-minute daily financial admin sweep. Every morning, after your Sanity Protocol, you open 2 things, your bank account and your budgeting app. You scan yesterday's transactions. You categorize any that are uncategorized. You approve any pending transfers. You check for any fraudulent activity. This takes 5 minutes. Because you do it daily, there is no backlog. There is no month-end reconciliation nightmare. Your financial reality is always current, always clear. That's the key. You are not organizing clutter. You are preventing clutter from ever existing. You are installing a system of instant decision and action. It's not about being tidy. It's about being mentally free. You don't need a complex filing system. You need a ruthless, immediate action system. So your operation is the one-touch implementation. You will weaponize decisiveness. First, establish your financial dock. You need one physical landing zone, A tray, a single drawer. This is where all physical financial items go. Mail, receipts from your pocket, tax documents. Nothing financial lives anywhere else, ever. This doc gets processed daily. You will stand there and you will apply the rule. Touch it once, trash it, pay it, file it in your permanent archive, a simple accordion folder by year, or log it. No third option. No, I'll deal with this later. Later is now. Second, digitize and automate ruthlessly. You will go paperless on every statement, every bill. You will use an app like a scanner to capture every paper receipt the moment you get it, then shred the paper. You will set up autopay for every recurring fixed bill. You are removing the need to touch the item at all. The system touches it for you. Your job is to monitor the system, not push paper. Third, the zero inbox ritual. Every Friday during your shutdown ritual, which you'll learn, you will ensure all financial inboxes are at zero. Your physical doc is empty, your digital receipts are logged, your transaction log is categorized, your budget is updated. You are closing the financial week clean. You are starting the new week with a clean slate, a clear mind, and zero financial baggage. You have a choice. You can live in a low-grade anxiety state with a subconscious tally of all the little financial things you've left undone. That stack on the desk is not paper. It is guilt. It is avoidance. It is a leak in your focus. Or you can live in financial clarity. You can have the peace of mind that comes from knowing every dollar is tracked, every obligation is met, and there are no surprises lurking in an envelope. This rule is not about money management, it's about mind management. A clear financial space creates a clear mental space. A clear mental space is where wealth work happens, where creativity lives, where sound investment decisions are made. Touch it once, decide, act, be done. This simple, brutal rule will free up more mental bandwidth than any productivity seminar. It turns financial admin from a dreaded quarterly ordeal into a trivial daily 5-minute victory. Your financial world is now clean, clear, and current. But a clear desk with an exhausted operator is useless. You must now address the fuel, the energy that powers everything you've just built.
Chapter 6. Energy Management Beats Time Management. You have the perfect schedule. You have the flawless system. But if you are running on empty, none of it matters. You are a state-of-the-art race car with no fuel in the tank. You will not move an inch. You have been obsessed with managing your minutes, but you have grossly mismanaged your energy. Time management is an illusion if your energy is bankrupt. You cannot allocate what you do not have. Discipline is not a mental trick. Discipline is a physical resource. It requires fuel. Your sleep, your nutrition, your hydration, your movement, these are not wellness choices. They are not hobbies for the privileged. They are performance-enhancing drugs for your willpower, your focus, and your decision-making. They are the foundation of your wealth. You cannot draw from an empty well. Prime the pump first. Let's diagnose the most common wealth killer in the modern world, the 2:30 p.m. crash. You had a productive morning. You executed your sanity protocol. You knocked out a deep work block. Then lunch. Maybe a heavy sandwich, fries, a soda, a treat. By 2:30 p.m., your brain is fog. Your willpower is gone. Your focus is shattered. You are biologically incapable of high-grade wealth work. So what do? You default to maintenance. You clear easy emails. You scroll. You organize. You waste the entire afternoon. You have just incinerated your most valuable hours because you poisoned your own fuel supply. That crash is not a coincidence. It is a chemical certainty. A sugar-laden processed meal spikes your blood glucose, then sends it crashing down. Your brain, which runs on glucose, is left in a deficit. Your prefrontal cortex, the seat of discipline, long-term thinking, and complex analysis, goes offline. This is when you make poor decisions. This is when you skip your workout. This is when you emotionally scroll through investment news and make a panicked, stupid choice. That's the key. A poor nutritional decision at noon can lead to a catastrophic financial decision at 3 p.m. The link is direct, biological. Now let's watch the operator.
They schedule with their biology, not just their clock. They know their peak state energy in the morning, after their sanity protocol. That is when they schedule their most demanding wealth work, the creative work, the strategic analysis, the deep learning. They protect that peak state window with their life. They do not waste it on meetings or email. They fuel for the peak. Breakfast is protein and fat, not sugar. Lunch is light, clean, and designed for sustained energy. A salad with chicken, vegetables, healthy fats, no heavy carbs, no sugar crash. They sip water all day. Dehydration causes fatigue, irritability, and poor cognition. They use movement as a reset, a 10-minute walk after lunch to aid digestion and clear the mind. They understand that exercise is not for vanity, it is for mental clarity and stress resilience. It is a direct deposit into their energy bank. It's not about having willpower, it's about engineering the conditions where willpower isn't needed. You don't need to resist the afternoon crash if you never create it. So your transformation is a biological prime protocol. You will manage your energy like a professional athlete manages theirs. First, audit your energy log. For 3 days, track not just your time, but your energy. On a scale of 1 to 5, rate your mental clarity, focus, and willpower every 2 hours. Note what you ate, how you slept, and what you did prior to each rating. You will see the patterns: the sugary snack before the energy crash, the poor night's sleep before the foggy day, the morning walk before the focused block. The data does not lie. Second, design your prime fuel. Based on your audit, you will create 2 non-negotiable rules. 1, the sleep rule. You will get 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep. Your phone charges in another room. Your bedroom is dark and cool. Sleep is your #1 performance priority. 2, the crash prevention rule. You will eliminate high-sugar, processed foods, especially at lunch. You will build meals around protein, vegetables, and healthy fats. You will sip a glass of water first thing in the morning and keep a bottle at your desk. Third, schedule energy, not just tasks. Look at your 3-bucket calendar. Now overlay your energy map. Your wealth work blocks must align with your biological peak. Your maintenance blocks can go in your lower energy periods. Your recovery blocks are sacred and non-negotiable. They are when you refill the tank. You are no longer just filling time slots. You are strategically deploying your finite energy reserves to your highest value targets. You have a choice. You can live in a cycle of burnout and recovery, sprinting until you collapse, mistaking exhaustion for virtue. It is a badge of stupidity. Or you can become an energy capitalist. You can invest in your physiology to generate massive daily returns of focus, creativity, and calm persistence. The unshakable mind requires an unshakable body, not a bodybuilder's body, a reliable body, a body that delivers consistent, high-quality energy on demand. You cannot draw from an empty well. Every night you must refill it with sleep. Every meal you must refill it with the right fuel. Every hour you must refill it with strategic pauses. Your energy is now your most managed asset. Your system is humming, but a system left unattended will gather dust, will drift, will decay. You must now install the ritual that locks in the gains of the week and sets the stage for the next.
Chapter 7. The Weekly Shutdown Ritual. Your system is live. Your energy is managed. But a system, like any machine, requires maintenance. Left unreviewed, it will drift. It will collect clutter. It will develop friction. A Sunday night anxiety will creep in. A Monday morning chaos will become your norm. This stops now. You do not just end your work week, you must shut it down. Formally, completely. You must close every open loop, clear your mental RAM, and strategically load the program for the week ahead. Every Friday afternoon, you will conduct a sacred, non-negotiable 60-minute ritual, the weekly shutdown. This is not a casual glance at your to-do list. It is a systematic, military-grade debrief and planning session. Close the week with intention so you can open the next with power.
Without this, your weekends are poisoned by a low-grade anxiety of unfinished business. Your mind cannot rest because it is still holding dozens of open tabs. You try to relax, but you're mentally writing emails, remembering tasks, feeling the weight of the unresolved. This is not living. This is enduring. With the shutdown, you give your mind permission to be fully off. You transfer all obligations from your brain to a trusted system. The weekend becomes true recovery. Monday becomes a launch, not a scramble. Let's walk through the exact checklist, the Shutdown Protocol. Step 1. The Victory Review. You open your calendar where you've marked your daily victories, your keystone actions. You review the week. You count the V's. You do not judge, you observe. You ask, on the days I missed, what was the true obstacle? Was it a failure of schedule, energy, or focus? This is data collection, not self-flagellation. You are studying the performance of the system, not the person. Then you write down your 3 biggest wins for the week. Not outcomes, but instances where you executed the system perfectly. You end this step by formally acknowledging the week is complete. Step 2 is the zero inbox sweep. You apply the one-touch rule to its logical conclusion. You process everything to 0. Your physical financial dock is empty. Your email inbox is at 0. Messages are filed, deleted, or turned into tasks. Your note-taking app, the digital catch-all, is reviewed. Every scrawled idea, every to-do on a sticky note is dealt with. It is either trashed, scheduled into next week's calendar as a specific task, or filed into a someday maybe list that you review quarterly. Your goal is that no task or idea exists in a vague, haunting middle ground. Then, step 3 is the financial close. You open your budget tracker or spreadsheet. You update all transactions for the week. You reconcile your accounts. You check that your automated transfers happened. You look at your spending categories. You do not react emotionally. You observe the data. This 5-minute update keeps your financial reality crystal clear and prevents month-end panic. Then, step 4 is the strategic load. Now you look at the blank canvas of next week. You open your calendar. First, you block your non-negotiables, your sanity protocol hours, your deep work, wealth work blocks, your workouts, recovery, your shutdown time next Friday. You schedule these first, like immovable pillars. Then you schedule your batched maintenance time. Only then, around this fortress of intention, do you add meetings and appointments. You are not filling time, you are architecting your success in advance. Finally, step 5 is the open loop park. You take a clean sheet of paper or a new digital note, title it Parking Lot, next week's date. You brain dump every single thing still on your mind, the project idea for next quarter, the gift you need to buy, the call you're nervous about, the weird noise your car is making. You get it out of your head and onto the page. This note is closed and put away. You have officially parked these thoughts. Your mind is now clear. That's the key. The shutdown is a cognitive transition. It moves you from the operating state to the planning state, and then grants you permission to the resting state. It is the ritual that separates one week from the next with a definitive line. It's not about working more. It's about thinking clearly once so you don't have to think anxiously all weekend. You don't need to be on all the time. You need a clean, reliable way to turn off. So, your command is to institutionalize the shutdown. First, schedule the ritual. Right now, look at your calendar, block 60 minutes this Friday afternoon between 4 p.m. and 6 p.m. Label it Weekly Shutdown Non-Negotiable. This appointment is with your future self. It is the most important meeting of your week. Protect it. Second, create your shutdown checklist. Open a document, write the 5 steps exactly as outlined. Make it a template. Print it if you need to. This checklist is your co-pilot. It ensures you don't miss a step. It turns the ritual from a vague idea into a repeatable, flawless procedure. Third, enforce the mental handoff. When the 60 minutes are complete, you say out loud, "The week is closed." You physically shut down your computer. You leave your workspace. You consciously decide that no work thought is allowed until your next sanity protocol. If a thought intrudes, you tell yourself, "It is in the system. It is on the calendar. I do not need to think about it now." You train your mind to trust the system. You have a choice. You can live in a blurred, endless cycle where work leaks into life and anxiety leaks into your peace, where Sunday nights are heavy and Monday mornings are chaotic, or you can create a powerful rhythm, a cycle of execution, review, planning, and true rest. You can end each week with a sense of completion and begin each new one with a sense of calm command. Close the week with a period, not a comma. Shut it down, seal it, file it away. Your system is now self-reinforcing. It reviews itself. But to protect it, you must also know what you will not do. You must build your defenses.
Chapter 8. Build your not-to-do list. You have built what you will do, your systems, your rituals. Now you must build what you will never do. Your fences, your barriers. Discipline is not just the force that pushes you toward good actions. It is the force that holds you back from bad ones. It is as much about consistent avoidance as it is about consistent execution. Your willpower is a finite resource. You cannot rely on it to say no 100 times a day. You will fail. You will get tired. You will give in. So you pre-decide. You write the no in stone, in advance, when your mind is clear and strong. You install guardrails so that when you are tired, distracted, or weak, you cannot veer off the road. Your not-to-do list is not a suggestion, it is law. It is your personal constitution of constraints. Your freedom is defined by your constraints. Write the constraints. Let's be specific. Let's write the laws that guard your wealth and your focus. Law 1. Do not check investment prices, portfolio balances, or market news more than once per day. The compulsive check is the #1 killer of an investor's psychology. It turns you into a reactive animal. It injects volatility directly into your nervous system. You will check at a predetermined, calm time, perhaps during your daily financial sweep. That is it. The rest of the day, the market does not exist. Law 2. Do not take unscheduled calls, especially sales calls or quick chats. Your deep work blocks are sacred territory. An interruption is not just a minute lost, it is a 20-minute cognitive wreck. You do not answer, you do not apologize. Your calendar is your gatekeeper. If it's important, they can schedule it. You control your attention. You do not rent it out by the minute. Law 3. Do not make significant financial decisions after 7 p.m. Your willpower and cognitive clarity are depleted at night. Your brain is primed for risk aversion and fear. This is when you will make the panicked sell order, the impulsive purchase, the fear-based choice. The sun sets on your decision-making window. After 7 p.m., you are in a financial lockdown. You can plan, you can research, but you cannot execute. Law 4. Do not scroll social media, news sites, or entertainment during wealth work blocks. This is treason against your future. You would not bring a video game into a boardroom. Do not bring the digital casino into your temple of creation. During a wealth work block, these sites are blocked by software if necessary. You are not a consumer in those moments. You are a creator. Act like one. Law 5. Do not negotiate with my own rules. This is the meta law. When the urge comes to just this once check the market again, or take the call, or skip the shutdown, you do not entertain a debate. You have already had the debate, and you lost. The list won. You obey the past, wiser version of yourself. That's the key. This list externalizes your discipline. It turns an internal struggle, should I check, into a simple rule-following exercise.
The rule says no. It eliminates the drain of 100 tiny decisions. It's not about restricting your life, it's about protecting your focus. You don't need to resist temptation in the moment, you need to ban it from the premises. So, your mission is to draft your Declaration of Independence from distraction. You will write your personal not-to-do list. First, the interruption audit. For 2 days, note every time you were pulled away from intentional work. What pulled you? Was it a notification, an internal urge to check something, a person? Identify your top 5 sources of distraction and self-sabotage. These become the first items on your list. Do not leave email notifications on. Do not keep phone in same room during deep work. Second, write the list in formal language. Do not write try to avoid. Write do not. Use clear, actionable binary language. Do not begin the day by checking email. Do not eat lunch at my desk. Do not buy anything over X dollars without a 48-hour waiting period. Post this list where you will see it daily, next to your monitor as your phone's lock screen. Third, create your accountability trigger. For your most important rule, establish a consequence for breaking it. If you check the markets a second time, you must immediately donate $50 to a cause you despise. If you scroll during a work block, you must do 50 push-ups. Make the cost of breaking the rule immediate and mildly painful. You are training your brain to associate the bad habit with a guaranteed negative outcome. You have a choice. You can live in a state of constant low-grade resistance, draining your willpower on a battlefield of petty distractions and temptations. You can be the mayor of a chaotic city, always putting out fires, or you can be the constitutional sovereign of your own life. You can establish clear, immovable laws that create the conditions for peace, focus, and inevitable progress. Freedom is not the absence of rules. True freedom is the presence of the right rules, rules you chose to liberate your best self from your worst impulses. Your not-to-do list is the fence around your garden. It doesn't grow the plants, but it keeps the rabbits out. It lets the things you've planted actually reach the sun. Your constraints are now written. Your guardrails are set. This creates the space for the final, most subtle discipline, not the love of the peak, but the acceptance of the plateau.
Chapter 9. Embrace the boredom of mastery. Your systems are airtight. Your constraints are set. Now we face the final enemy, the quiet one. Not fear, not distraction, not chaos. Boredom. The soul-crushing, motivation-killing feeling that nothing is changing, that you're on a treadmill, that the 100th day looks exactly like the 99th. The novelty has worn off. The initial excitement is a distant memory. The big, validating results are not here yet. This is the moment. The crossroads where 99% of people quit. They mistake the plateau for a dead end. They confuse boredom for failure. They are wrong. The plateau is not your enemy. It is the only path. The final frontier of discipline is not pushing through pain. It is loving the plateau. It is finding a deep, quiet satisfaction in the repetition itself. The real work, the work that separates the amateur from the master, happens when the fireworks end and the grinding hum of the machine is all that's left. This feeling of boredom is not a red light, it is a green light. It is the signal that you have graduated from being driven by novelty and have arrived at the doorstep of true mastery. If it excites you, it's a hobby. If it bores you and you do it anyway, it's a discipline. Let's see this in the real world. Let's watch the masters in their most unglamorous moments. The investor. The amateur investor needs drama. They need the thrill of the hot stock, the rush of the big win. They're addicted to the story. The quiet investor? They find a profound peace in the 200th automatic transfer. They watch the same amount move from checking to investing on the same day for the 200th time. There is no news article about it, no adrenaline. It is boring. It is mechanical.
And in that boring mechanical action lies their entire fortune. Their satisfaction comes from the fidelity to the system, not from the volatile ticker. The business owner. The amateur entrepreneur is chasing the idea high, the launch event, the press feature. The professional? They find quiet satisfaction in the 1,000th quality check, in reviewing the same process, the same numbers, the same delivery standard long after it became routine. The boredom of consistency is their competitive moat. While others get bored and cut corners, they find a strange pride in the monotony of excellence. The artist. The amateur creates only when inspired. They wait for the muse. The professional shows up at the same time to the same studio and does the work even when it feels pointless, derivative, boring. They know the muse visits during the work, not before it. The boredom of the daily practice is the toll they pay for the occasional moment of genius. That's the key. You are not building a life of perpetual excitement. You are building a life of profound integrity. The excitement of a lottery win is fleeting. The deep contentment of a stack of perfectly executed days is permanent. It's not about chasing passion. It's about choosing purpose and then performing the purpose even on the days it feels passionless. You don't need to feel inspired. You need to be faithful. So, your instruction is to cultivate boredom tolerance. You will not run from the plateau. You will dig in and build a home there. First, reframe the feeling. When you feel that itch of boredom, that whisper that says, "This is pointless, let's do something new," you will not obey it. You will recognize it and say out loud, "This is the feeling of growth. This is the signal that I am past the cheap novelty and into the real work." You will celebrate the boredom as a milestone. You are no longer a tourist. You are a resident. Second, practice micro-attention. Choose one simple, repetitive part of your system, making your morning smoothie, doing your daily financial log, your 20 minutes of skill practice. For 1 week, perform that task with total, hyper-focused attention. Notice exactly the texture, the sound, the rhythm. Do not let your mind wander. You are not doing a boring task. You are practicing the art of focused repetition. You are finding the universe in the grain of sand. This trains your mind to find depth in the shallow routine. Third, eliminate the excitement seeking. Audit your life for novelty-seeking behaviors that sabotage your plateaus. Do you constantly research new investment strategies instead of sticking to your proven plan? Do you jump to a new passion project every quarter? This is plateau phobia. It is the addiction to beginner's excitement. Your new rule: you cannot abandon a core practice until you have performed it consistently through the boredom for at least 6 months. You must earn the right to quit by first mastering the monotony. You have a choice. You can be a butterfly, flitting from one exciting flower to the next, never landing long enough to build anything of substance. You can live for the ping of a notification, the thrill of a new idea. Or you can be the oak tree. You can sink your roots into the same patch of ground day after quiet day, growing stronger and more immovable with each boring season. The weather changes, the oak does not. The boredom is the filter. It filters out everyone who's in it for the feeling and leaves only those who are in it for the result. It is your greatest ally. When you feel bored, you should smile. You have just left the crowded arena of amateurs and entered the empty gym of masters. If it excites you, it's a hobby, a temporary chemical experience. If it bores you and you do it with perfect attention anyway, it's a discipline. And discipline is the only thing that builds a legacy. You have learned to love the grind. Now you need a new way to measure your progress, not by money, not by hype, but by the only metric that guarantees both.
Chapter 10. The Compound Day. Your new measure of wealth. We have reached the summit, the final reframe. You have been measuring the wrong thing. You have been staring at the scoreboard, the bank account, the portfolio balance, the net worth statement. You have tied your identity, your stress, your sense of progress to a number that is chaotic, lagging, and largely outside your daily control.
That ends now. Today, you adopt a new metric, the only metric that matters. From this moment forward, you do not measure your wealth in dollars. You measure it in compound days. A compound day is not a good day. It is not a productive day. It is a perfectly executed day according to your system. It is a day where you claimed your morning, completed your keystone action, respected your time buckets, fueled your energy, honored your not-to-do list, and embraced the discipline of the task. It is a day where you were the flawless operator of your own machinery. One compound day is a unit of wealth. Your financial future is no longer a dollar figure. It is the number of consecutive compound days you can stack. Wealth is not a number in an account. It is a streak on a calendar. Protect the streak. Let's see the power of this shift. Let's go to the mental battlefield. The market crashes 10%. Your portfolio, on paper, drops a significant amount. The old you would panic. You would feel poor. You would be tempted to break your rules, to sell, to do something. The new you, the operator, has a different focus. You look not at the portfolio, but at the calendar. Your streak of compound days is intact. You executed your system perfectly today, despite the chaos. That is your win. The market's output is irrelevant noise. Your input, your compound day, is the only signal. Protecting that streak becomes more important than reacting to a temporary paper loss. This mindset makes you unbreakable. Conversely, let's say you have a windfall, an unexpected bonus, a lucky gain. The old you would get excited, feel rich, perhaps splurge. The new you logs the event during your weekly financial close, but your primary focus remains. Did today qualify as a compound day? Did I do the work? The external reward is a secondary effect. The core engine, your daily discipline, is what you worship. That's the key. This reframe transfers all your psychic energy from the uncontrollable, outcomes, to the completely controllable, your process. It turns wealth building from a stressful guessing game into a simple daily binary question. Did I execute the system? Yes or no? Your calendar becomes your most important financial document. A year with 300 compound days is a monumental success, regardless of what the S&P 500 did that year. Because with 300 compound days, you have guaranteed growth in your skills, your habits, your knowledge, and your capital. The financial results are a mathematical certainty. They cannot not happen. It's not about hoping for wealth. It's about stacking the days that guarantee it. You don't need luck. You need consistency. So your final, most important command is to institute the compound day streak. First, define your compound day criteria. It must be binary, clear, and achievable. It is not 20 things. It is the 3 to 5 non-negotiable pillars of your system. For example, 1. Complete sanity protocol. 2. Execute 90-minute deep work block. 3. Adhere to not-to-do list. 4. Log daily finances. If you hit these, it's a compound day. Write this criteria down. This is your official definition. Second, get a streak tracker, a physical wall calendar you mark with a big X, a dedicated app like a chain building tool, a simple note on your phone. You must see the chain forming. Your daily obsession becomes don't break the chain. The visual proof of your consistency is more motivating than any dollar amount. A 30-day chain is a fortress. A 100-day chain is an empire. Third, make the streak sacred. Breaking the streak must feel like a genuine loss, more painful than a market downturn. If you break it, you conduct a formal autopsy. Why? Was the system too rigid? Did life intervene? Or did you simply choose to let it break? You learn. You adjust your criteria if needed. Then you start a new streak the very next day. The goal is not perfection. The goal is longer and longer streaks of flawless execution. You have a choice. You can continue to be a weather vane, spinning in the winds of market sentiment, external validation, and emotional highs and lows. Your sense of worth tied to the volatile opinions of the world. Or you can become the rock, the immutable force. You can tie your worth to the one thing that never lies, your own disciplined action, measured in unbroken chains of well-lived days. Wealth is not a destination you reach. It is a person you become one compound day at a time. The person who does the work silently, consistently, without applause, is the person who cannot be stopped. The bank account is a lagging report card. The streak is the real-time transcript of the work. Focus on the work. The grade will take care of itself. Wealth is not a number in an account. It is the integrity of your yesterday, the discipline of your today, and the promise of your tomorrow, all linked in an unbreakable chain. Your new measure is set. The system is complete. The myth is dead. The work remains. Now, go and stack your first compound day, then another, then another. Build your fortune not from money, but from days. The money has no choice but to follow.
The system is yours. The protocols are clear. The myth is dead. You know that wealth is built in the quiet hours others sleep through. It is built in the disciplined no to distraction. It is built in the embrace of the boring, essential work. You have your daily victory. You have your sanity protocol. You have your buckets, your rules, your rituals. The machinery is assembled. Now there is only one question that matters, and you will answer it with your life every sunrise. Will today be a compound day? Will you touch it once? Will you triage your time? Will you protect your energy? Will you do the work? Not when you feel like it, not when it's easy. Today, and then again tomorrow. The world does not need another dreamer with a loud plan. It needs a quiet executor with a silent system. You are that executor. Now, clock in. Your first compound day starts now.